Okay, now that we have a grip, our left hand and right hand, get a grip. You got to have a good one. I expect a good one for you to play well. Let's talk about the grip pressure. All right, when you're looking at the hands, I'm going to take the left hand first. We said that the thumb had to be at 2 o'clock. All right, when you close the gap between the index finger and the thumb, all right, I'd like you to take a gold coin and put it in there and squeeze that coin so that when you're swinging the golf club, that coin would stay in. So the pressure really isn't in the fingers, it's more the groove that's formed between the thumb and index finger. The club's going to ride in that groove, and we want to keep it together. Now what happens when you squeeze that, the pressure is going to be on the top of the hand versus you having to squeeze so hard on the last 3 fingers. I get some people that get their hands get cramped by holding on so tightly. So just try that trick. Get a little coin, put it in there, and squeeze it with your thumb and index finger, and just swing the club a few times and see what that feels like. You're going to develop a little bit of a muscle here. It's going to get a little bit more together. So instead of that gap being open and allowing that club to wobble, this is going to eliminate that wobble, which will make you a lot more secure when you're hitting the golf ball. So the grip pressure in the left hand would just put a little coin in. All right, let's talk about the right hand. When we said we put the right hand on and the thumb is at 11:59, okay, there's another little part to this that I like as far as grip pressure. I want to put that coin between the groove of the thumb and index finger at this point and actually just squeeze it. Now when you do that, what's going to happen is your index finger, and very important, I like to have the index finger reaching down kind of like you're pulling a trigger on a water pistol. Like there's the trigger and you're pulling the trigger. So what's going to happen is the index is going to wrap around. It's going to have a slight gap in there. And now your thumb that's at 11:59 is almost going to be touching there. All right, you notice that they're both actually on the same latitude. So if I put a little washer in here, they'd both be at the same versus one being longer or one being shorter. All right, so the pressure point here would be between the thumb and index. And also, I'd almost like to feel like I'm lightly holding the coin there. All right, but what importance, and this is really important. Let me say this, and so I want you to take note. If you take the trigger and have the pinch, the trigger is important, and the pinch, well, the trigger itself now, you'll be able to feel the weight of the club on the trigger. It gives you the feel that you hear golfers say, man, I can feel my club. So when you swing back, the trigger and the pinch will give you more feel than you've ever had. So what am I looking for? Well, I'm looking for a little bit of pressure here. I'm looking for a little bit of gap there. I'm looking for a trigger feel. Now, a lot of times when I'm teaching students, I'll put that finger in and have them pinch that and say, well, can you feel the club? And I say, wow, I've never felt that before. When the club gets up here now, the club now rests on that little groove, and the index finger then will send a signal back to your brain. Gosh, this feels good, and I think I'm going to hit the ball well. So that little index trigger finger is really good. And there was a great teacher one time, he's still a very good teacher, John Elliott, knew him from a long time ago, and he once said that the thumb should look like a little ski slope. You should feel like you could ski right down that thumb, and he said the trigger should look like a little question mark. So I'm coining his phrase there, and I remember that all the time. So John, thank you very much. But ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to try these pressure points. Don't forget the pinch between the left hand, the pinch between the right hand, and the trigger and the pinch. That will give you enough feel to be able to swing the golf club the best you can and the best grip you have. If you have any questions about your grip, boy, please log on. Let me get back to you so we can help you. Thank you.